Dating apps as investments do not tend to get the attention they deserve, for no reason other than the fact that they are dating apps. We call this the Moneyball effect, wherein clearly great investments can get rejected based on unfounded apprehension. Take any social media platform which holds the potential to amass billions of users. Due to the network effect they generate, users subsequently tend to feel compelled to join and remain on these platforms due to other end users. But let's be honest, people would pay to be on Facebook, Instagram, or other similar platforms. Reason being, whilst they are interested in what is happening within their social circles and friends' lives, they are not interested enough to pay even a minimal cost for this experience. Therefore, these platforms need to find indirect sources of revenue, advertising being a prime example. A dating app, however, isn't a social media platform. The lure of finding a date is substantial enough that many users do in fact pay for this experience. Let us assume for a moment that you created a dating service whereby the majority of users paid. Now, envisage the revenue potential of such a platform. Tinder, holding a paid user percentage of only around 2 to 3%, generates nearly $2 billion in revenues and is currently valued at roughly 20 to 25 billion US. And Bumble, holding a similar paid user percentage and a smaller user base, is valued at around 15 billion. Visualize this with me. What if Tinder were able to make most, say even 50% of its users pay? I needn't tell you what stands as a market opportunity for the right dating app. So what makes a dating app user pay? To understand that, let's look at why most dating app users do not pay. Current dating app revenue models are in-app premium subscriptions, and since the advent of the infamous swipe, users are lured with various premium features. The vast majority of them revolve around having a higher chance of matching with someone. However, most users don't fall for this, as they tend to follow thought with, does this person even exist? If they do they look like their pictures? Even if they did, what are the true chances of getting a match from the money that I will have spent? There is no concrete value proposition substantial enough to entice more users to pay for any of the current dating apps, and hence the extremely low conversion rates that results in less than 3% paid users, even for the topmost apps. Now, looking at our app, Genie. Genie shows you real people in real places in real time. We have all crossed paths with someone that we felt romantically drawn to. Say, the coffee shop, during the daily commute, the supermarket, the airport lobby, that sweet yet awkward moment of catching eyes and a smile in the elevator. The chances of singles meeting other potential singles are everywhere, always. However, hardly any of these result in a conversation, and these missed opportunities can be the result of many people remaining single. Maybe the other person was with their friends or family. It's bad timing. Maybe the moment occurs in a busy location where it's not possible to engage in a conversation. But predominantly, these moments pass due to sheer reluctance and inherent shyness. This leaves the individual thinking, I wish I had introduced myself. Genie grants those wishes, using your Bluetooth range to show people within a visible radius to its users. So even if the person who caught your eye does pass by, the moment doesn't have to. Now imagine the user's willingness to pay to connect to that user they will otherwise lose forever. All the reasons why a user didn't pay for connections to other users on a traditional dating app are resolved instantly. They know that the user they will be sending an interest to does exist. They know exactly what they look like, and they most likely also know what their chances are. There is a much higher likelihood that you would spend money on connecting to a dating app user that you have seen in real life. The current dating app market is about 200 to 300 million users, and Genie would cater to almost all of them. Add on top of that a majority of the single user market, which is nearly 700 million to 1 billion more people, who whilst being single aren't all dating app users. Why? Well, they would rather meet people in real life. Genie is not only made for those who have been on dating apps way too long, but also for those who have refrained from using them completely. If you believe in the value proposition that Genie offers to them, then you know that a lot of the untapped users will follow suit. Perhaps not the first time they hear about us, but the next time they find themselves in the situation where their only chance of forming that connection is Genie. Bluetooth is an extremely difficult technology to crack, and to configure background use with full cross-compatibility, nearly impossible. Not being able to make it work in the background completely nullifies a dating app use case. Imagine a potential couple in the situation of a missed connection. What is the probability of both of them opening their apps at the same time? The Bluetooth tech currently available to the world only allows proximity detection in these cases. GPS is an ineffective tech for this use case. A dating app called Happen does exist with a similar idea basis, showing you people that you have crossed paths with. Fact being that if you ask any Happen user if they have seen another Happen user in real life, the answer would invariably be no. However, Happen showed us that there is a tremendous demand for a service like this, having gained more than 50 million users. But since the experience of the user was very much like other swiping apps, disconnected and not the real life scenarios expected, it failed, both at growing its user base and at getting users to pay for this service. Coming back to the tech, a simple argument to prove that GPS is ineffective for close proximity situations is that none of the COVID-19 contact tracing apps were developed using GPS, rather Bluetooth. However, these failed to achieve the desired result. This also proved the complexity of achieving effective contact tracing. If you followed the news during those times, you will recall when the NHS had first withdrawn their contact tracing app. Apple and Google understood the complexity of the problem, being that Bluetooth tracking doesn't work in the background. Along with interoperability of detecting iOS on Android devices and vice versa. They had come together over a month later and had released some newer versions of APIs which could partly solve the problem. Yet these could only be used for pharmaceutical reasons and COVID-19 apps. Genie's breakthrough technology, on the other hand, does exactly what the NHS struggled to achieve. It works in the background. And whilst we can't reveal how we do it, it is very easy upon seeing the app in action to believe our technology breakthrough has been successful. Take two phones, iOS or Android, as per your choice, and keep one of them in the background. Just open Genie on the other phone and you would detect the nearby device with no fail. Let me demonstrate this to you. As you can see on my iPhone, both of these profiles are showing up on the app, even though they are both locked with the app in the background on the other phones. And yes, that's the magic that Genie can do. Simple, yet that moment makes all the in-person connection use cases possible, which were otherwise the opposite. Genie's breakthrough is so unique that both users need not have unlocked their devices, even if they have different operating systems. If they had come in visible proximity to each other, which is parallel to Bluetooth's range, Genie would be able to detect both users, either providing a notification of a nearby user or with the ability to check later in their history. Genie's app is approved both on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store, and the tech uniqueness, along with its complexity in copying, is enough to give us a head start over any competition or upcoming app in a market that has an obvious unfulfilled demand. Genie does understand the complexities of dating in close proximity situations. As such, this feature can be turned on and off at the click of a button, which allows users to be seen only when they want to be. Alternatively, users can delay their visibility to nearby users and choose how many hours they want to set that delay. Regardless, safety being key, there are no maps, and so users are able to see who is there, but they can never see where. On top of this, women are provided additional security features, such as anonymous mode, which changes the user's profile photo to a blurred and unrecognizable image, as well as invisible mode, which essentially acts as a stealth mode, so their profile will not be visible until they choose for it to be. Women traditionally are a dead pool of users when it comes to paying on a dating app. But with features like this, if you were to ask a woman, will they pay a small amount for going to, say, a party, event or festival, so that they can see all the men around them on an app, but not reveal themselves, an overwhelming majority do say yes. This allows Genie to even break the women's market into paying for a dating app, which is mostly unheard of in the dating app world. With about 14 other in-app features which are enticing enough for all genders to pay on Genie, Genie would definitely have a far higher user base than other dating apps in the field. To make Genie a holistic user experience, as after all, there wouldn't likely be other users in close proximity when you are at home, Genie gives its users a more traditional swiping module too, which they can use like other dating apps. Similar, yet one key difference which makes even our swiping module stand out from all the other apps. Research shows that around 95% of men swipe right randomly. As such, the experience that women tend to have on dating apps is that they get unwanted matches with men who were never genuinely interested. This is the fundamental cause of most bad experiences on existing swiping apps. Random swipes lead to bad matches to bad conversations, and bad conversations to bad dates. If only you could make that swipe genuine where it all begins. Genie uses a split screen UI, where users see two profiles at a time, and by right swiping one of them, the other one is an automatic left swipe. This encourages the user to make a more conscious decision and consider each individual profile with presence and identified value. Whilst it is about who you choose, it is also about who you have to lose, and men especially become increasingly conscious of their swiping when you show them this screen. If the user was genuinely interested in both profiles, there is a fetch button at the bottom corner so that they can recall the profile that was auto left swiped. However, now you still have to choose between this profile and a new one. So whilst you can continue to fetch and right swipe everyone, your free fetches are limited to the healthy number of 5 a day. We do not take the choice away. We simply encourage users to make a more conscious effort into their dating experience for the sake of a more genuine connection. This is a far more engaging experience, especially for men who are finding the instant gratification they have in existing dating apps vastly unrewarding. Female users and users of other gender identities, however, have the option to switch to single view mode. This levels the playing field and balances the disparity caused by systemic undervaluation from male users within the dating environment. Our value proposition is very simple, yet extremely powerful to solve the existing problems that otherwise plague the potential of what could be one of the biggest markets, dating. The potential of the market is for you to see, the problems for you to envisage, and what revolutionary things that Genie can do to not just the dating app industry, but to dating itself is for you to judge. Let us embark on this positive change. But would you right swipe on Genie?